U.S. Army Stunt Show, and we're going to check it out. U.S. Army Stunt Show, stockdroid officials down there, but it's going to be a fun thing, a lot of stunts, a lot of action coming up.
The queue to get into this attraction is kind of out in the walkway. You can see some of the other attractions located nearby, and you can also see that as you go down that way towards the food and towards the gift shop, it got a little bit crowded. Something fun that happened was while we were waiting for the U.S. Army Stunt Show to start, they had kind of a pre-show and also an attraction wrapped up in one. This presentation was called Wanna Be a Star, and they had someone come out and sing for us. And while we were in line, the best part is we actually ran into some fellow YouTubers, and there was just about enough time to snap a picture together before we headed in. This show is based on the John J. Rambo character played by Sylvester Stallone in the Rambo movies, and my family and I were pleasantly surprised whenever this boat showed up with the host of our show, and he looked and sounded a lot like Sylvester Stallone to us.
Allora, we are now shooting our medieval US Army Stunt Show. Ma per questo show io ho bisogno di tre.
Another thing we really liked about the show is that they sent out people to select volunteers from the audience, and they brought them down to the center, gave them special outfits, and then you end up seeing them later on in the show. Then after a few more words from our host, they launch right into the action, and beware if you're in the first few rows, you might get splashed.
Light, camera, action!
We really enjoyed when that plane came out of nowhere and splashed down in front of us. But this show is full of surprises, and we sat near the front, so whenever the soldiers started coming together, it was quite an awesome surprise for us to be able to look up and see people rappelling right in front of us.
And after they came down and found their place with the other soldiers in front of us, there were a few more scenes, and then it was time for them to bring out the volunteers from the audience, who then were brought across the water there to that prison cell. And the one and only hope of escape, of course, was to be rescued by Rambo. True to form, shortly after his arrival, Rambo decides he's going to take somebody's vehicle and start the rescue attempt. And of course, one of the people that Rambo is rescuing is one of his fellow soldiers, and the two of them get a chance to do some damage. And to make things more interesting, they recapture his buddy, and also they have the love of Rambo's life up at the top there, and they put her in that cage above the water. Rambo has to rescue them and the other hostages. Of course, they bring out the tank, Rambo gets a boat, and there's a second boat that goes after him. There's a lot of action in this show, and the kids really loved it. This is the one show that they say they want to see every single time that we head to Movieland. They absolutely love the fact that the first few rows get sprayed. Near the end, the villains kill someone that Rambo loves, so he grabs his trusty bow and arrow, climbs up on the tank, and decides to let loose one of his famous arrows. There was of course a lot more action during the show, but we hope you've enjoyed the highlights. Once Rambo defeats the enemy, it's time to recognize the cast.
E cut! Scene perfettamente riuscite! Ottimo lavoro, ragazzi!
It was great that they brought everybody back out so the crowd could applaud. They let each person bow. Stuntmen took a pass with their four-wheelers or bikes. And of course, they saved the main cast for last. There are several people who play the role of Rambo, You can see their pictures on the posters as you walk into the arena. And like most of the best attractions in the world, this one also has a gift shop.
After you finish the ride, you come across this military store, and this is amazing. It's got a lot of fun stuff in here. This is half of the attraction right here for me. Seeing all this gear that you can get. Let's check it out.
Of course, anyone who's a veteran will recognize some of this gear or something very similar to what they used to use, while other stuff is just for fun. They do have a lot of Carnival World items or Movieland items, some hats, some stuffed animals, a few toys, and actually they have toy guns as well. Something you don't see in many places anymore. And they did have some nice bags and other accessories that you could pick up to use along your travels. And since the Maverick movie just came out, they did have a whole section of Top Gun items. They also have the Top Gun Tribute, which plays most of the time before the U.S. Army Stunt show. We happened to catch it the one day that it had the Do You Want to Be a Star? Notice they have jackets, pants, t-shirts, hats, and a whole lot of other items. Stay tuned after the credits for a quick look at the Top Gun Tribute.
Also keep in mind that if you want a closer look at this set, you can take part in the Kit Superjet ride. You can ride this boat right here like David and Rebecca are doing and get in the middle of the action. Thanks again for watching. Please check out my books at www.amazon.com/author/David H. Troyer. Check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/TroyersTravels. Have a great day. Remember, Jesus loves you. And we hope to see you in our travels.
Sì, signore. Ma questo mi piace in un pilota. Ricordate.